Welcome to Backland, Bat fans. I'm Alex. This is Steven. We do this every single week, except for this week, like last week, is a little bit different because it's quarantine edition. I hope you all are staying in your homes, preventing the spread of COVID-19 just like we are. Right now, I have a makeshift light right now, trying to get my face in the light with.
So I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, he has backlight. That doesn't make any sense. That's just going to put a shadow over his face. We're not. We're not.
It's all I got.
We're not going to talk about it. I have a shoebox right now holding up my phone so that it will be able to be on my level. But with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. And not very often do I know I'm right before we get into a debate on this show. But this is one of those times where I just absolutely know for a fact that I'm right. And I'm sure all the viewers will agree because I seriously, besides Stephen Amon, I don't know one person on the face of this earth who thinks Karl Anthony Towns is better than Nikola Jokic, but that's what we'll be arguing right now. Here we go.
Can I give a little backstory to it?
Sure.
Let me go to see how all this started. All right, so I was scrolling Twitter, and I see this post by the NBA Central. It says pick the 3 best players, and it's 9 players on here. The players are Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, Luka Doncic, Paul George, Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Bradley Beal, Nikola Jokic, and Damian Lillard. And it says pick the best 3. So I follow Alex on Twitter, which I might have to unfollow after this. I see he commented Dame, Jokic, Butler, which is just wrong. He got Dame right. Dame is the top player on this list. He's the best player on this list.
Can I just say that Steven's list was 3 point guards because I don't know if I guess he just thinks points are what matter, or the guy who
points are a big part of basketball. Yes, they are.
What matters. But out of all 9 players, all 3 of them are point guards. If you ask Steven a question,
it didn't ask me to pick a team. It said pick the 3 best players. I'm not fielding a team of 3 point guards.
You pick those guys because they're point guards and they have
I
names.
picked those guys because they're the best players on the list.
Not true. Not true at all. First of all, Russell Westbrook, I have a deep disliking for. I think he's the most overrated player.
I don't like Russ either.
And I vividly remember Steven arguing that he wasn't top 10, maybe not top 15.
That was a year ago. And when I was arguing it, he was not in my top 10. Now, I put him at number 10 because Clay hasn't played in a year, and I will give Russ that spot at 10.
A top 10 that he didn't include Paul George, Jimmy
Here,
Butler.
you want me to read out my top 10?
Yeah, please do.
Top 10 players. This was my tweet. Top 10 players. 1, LeBron James. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
2, Giannis. Do you agree with that? 3, Kawhi Leonard. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
4, KD.
Yeah.
5, Steph.
Yeah.
6, AD, Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
7, Damian Lillard.
I don't agree with the order, but I agree with these players should be in top 10. Yes. Damian Lillard, yes.
8, James Harden.
Yes.
I don't like James Harden, but he is the top 10 player in the NBA.
Yes.
9, Karl Anthony Towns.
No. Not even.
Okay, and I said 10, and I'll admit I was wrong in the argument a year ago and give Russ the nod at 10. And I said, I'll read my comment to that, and I said, Clay was in my top 10 last year at number 10 when I did this, but with him not playing all year, I've knocked him out. Used to have KD at 2, but I dropped him for the same reason. Steph used to be my 3. I dropped him to 5 because he didn't play much this year.
Okay, well.
So anyway, we ended up getting into an argument over Karl Anthony Towns, and he said, you can't tell me that you think Karl Anthony Towns is better than Nikola Jokic. So I went and told him why, and here we are.
Okay, and we're here, and the bottom line is Karl Anthony Towns he's a good player. I like Karl Anthony Towns. God rest his soul. I know he's going through a lot right now with his mother and everything. That's really sad to hear. But he's not better than Nikola Jokic, and it's not close. I mean, Nikola Jokic is just much, much, much better player. He's 24 years old, same age as Karl Anthony Towns, so they're both younger guys.
They both played 5 years in the NBA.
But what Nikola Jokic has done with his teams are much different than what Karl Anthony Towns has done with his teams. Right now, do we want to talk about which team was better this year?
It was clearly the Denver Nuggets. It's not what I'm arguing. I'm not arguing teams. I'm arguing the player.
Okay.
Let me cut you there.
Why do people call Michael Jordan the greatest of all time? Why do people call Michael Jordan the greatest of all time? Because he had great teams that won championships. Why do people call LeBron? Why do some people call LeBron the greatest of all time? Because he's in the finals every single year. Why do people call these people the greatest of all time? Because they win with their teams. It doesn't matter about teams. It matters about how good the player is. And let me tell you, Karl Anthony Towns this year doesn't have a big excuse for a good part of the year. He had D'Angelo Russell helping him out. So I'm
Yeah,
not
D'Angelo Russell for like a month.
Oh, and his team was still horrible with
That was
D'Angelo Russell.
a third of the year at most. He had D'Angelo Russell.
And his team was still horrible for that third of the year.
He's
not a player that elevates his team. And do you think D'Angelo Russell is? You think he's not as good as Jamal Murray? You think Jamal Murray's better than D'Angelo Russell? No, he's not. It's not close. D'Angelo Russell's a lot better player. But the difference between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves is that the Nuggets have a guy named Nikola Jokic.
Let me read off. I'm just reading off their stats. This year, Karl Anthony Towns averaged 6.3 more points per game. That's 26.5 to 20.2. 0.6 more rebounds per game. 10.8, 10.2. Nikola Jokic had him in assists by 2.5, 6.9 to 4.4. That's this year. For their career, Karl Anthony Towns had 22.7 points per game, while Jokic has 16.9. Cat had 11.8 rebounds per game, while Jokic had 9.7. And Cat had 2.8 assists per game, while Jokic had 5.4.
I will say
Karl Anthony Towns is by these stats, and the field goal percentage is within 2 or 3% of each other every single year. By these stats, Karl Anthony Towns is a better shooter and a better rebounder. I will give you that.
Points. Being a better shooter because you have more points.
Yeah, you're right. He's a better scorer.
Who has better field goal percentage?
Huh?
Who has better field goal percentage? And if it's within 2 points, it doesn't matter much, but let's nitpick.
Their field goal percentage. This year, Nikola Jokic field goal percentage was exactly 2% higher.
Okay, and that's just thrown out the window. So we're going to say points. Karl Anthony Towns had 0.6 more rebounds a game, but it doesn't. But since Nikola Jokic,
over his career, he has 2.1 more rebounds per game. That seems like a lot.
I'm not going to argue that Karl Anthony Towns might have been better at the beginning part of the year because Nikola Jokic, he's just came on these past 2 or 3 years. He's become a monster. Whereas Karl Anthony Towns,
he's become a really good player.
As soon as Karl Anthony Towns, as soon as the guy got drafted, he was automatically. I mean, he was where he's at now. Nikola Jokic, it took him a little bit longer to work his way up, but now that he's up, he's done surpassed Karl Anthony Towns, and that's not close. And
not by the numbers.
You're gonna nip. Okay. No, let's talk about numbers then. Let's get into numbers. How many times has Karl Anthony Towns made the playoffs?
1.
In his long career, in which I'm not arguing. Remember, I'm not arguing Nikola Jokic has been better his entire career than Karl Anthony Towns. I think Karl Anthony Towns was better than Nikola Jokic years and years ago. But through this entire thing, when Nikola Jokic was not that great at the beginning of his career, so he didn't make the playoffs. Nikola Jokic didn't make the playoffs, and he was not that great. Karl Anthony Towns has been good, and you even say that he's been good. He's been the same his whole career. He's been a good player. He's made the playoffs one time and damn near got swept.
That is true.
The man is 1-4 in the playoffs. Never been past the first round. Only won one game in his entire career in the playoffs. Nikola Jokic has won 7. 7 times more playoff wins. 7 times more wins.
So is Matthew Dellavedova a better player than, Damian Lillard?
You know that's not the same. These two are both the stars of their teams. Matthew Dellavedova was never a star of his team.
That is true. They're stars, but Matthew Dellavedova has more playoff wins.
When you look at star players, you look at how they pushed their team. These players, Matthew Dellavedova is also much older, and he's played much more years than Damian Lillard. These two players started the same exact year, and we're looking at how many games they played in the playoffs and how many games they won.
Karl Anthony Towns averages more points and more rebounds per game.
Huh?
Karl Anthony Towns has better stats. Nikola Jokic's teams have done better, but Karl Anthony Towns has better stats. Personal stats.
I'm rooting for the biggest hater of James Harden there is. And let's say James Harden has the best stats. James Harden does the most stats.
I said he was the top 10 player.
So why is he not number 1? So why is he not number 1? So why is James Harden not number 1 since he has the best stats?
Because he does nothing else. Like that, he's a good scorer. He's a good scorer.
He led the league in assists a couple years ago.
He's not my number 1 because he doesn't play any kind of defense. He's not a good rebounder. What else do you want?
Wait, what? And Russ is at 10. Russ is at 10. He has some of the greatest stats. Why is Russ not above Karl Anthony Towns? Russ has much better stats.
Because he's not a better player.
Oh, so stats don't necessarily mean he's a better player. Is that what you're
That
telling
don't
me?
necessarily mean it, but in some cases
Well,
they do.
then what? Then why are we talking about stats right now?
Because in
It's
some,
obvious to everyone.
so if you watch the highlights, you honestly think that Nikola Jokic is a better player than Karl Anthony Towns.
Steven, I'm not the only one who thinks this. Everyone everyone who's into basketball knows this. You're the only person that thinks Karl Anthony Towns is better than Nikola Jokic.
We'll put a Twitter poll up and a Facebook poll.
Please do. Please do. We're running out of time, but please comment down below, folks, and tell us what you think, because I don't know. If I'm wrong on this, I'll stop watching basketball. Because literally, if
the polls tell you you're wrong, stop watching basketball.
Huh?
If the polls go in my favor, you'll stop watching basketball.
No, because the poll's going to be like 10 people answered. So no, that's that. But if the majority of people in basketball actually believe Karl Anthony Towns is better than Nikola Jokic, I would stop watching, because let's be real. I mean, Jokic, he's been better for 2-3 years now. I mean, and that's not debatable. He was better this year, much better this year. His team was fighting for a top 3 seed. What was the Timberwolves doing?
Fighting for the number 1 overall pick, baby. Let's go.
Exactly.
That's just being a good teammate. That's Karl Anthony Towns. He puts up numbers and secures that number 1 pick. You can't beat him. He might be higher on my list. After looking at it, I might put him higher on my list.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been The Facts with Alex and Steven. We'll see you guys next time.
If you liked what you just watched, please subscribe to our channel for more sports, news, and debate content. Have you subscribed yet? Come on now. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Alright, I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.